This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. You are entering Tara's terrestrial aura. Are you ready? I repeat, this is not a test. This is not a test. Hey YouTube family, I love you and I'm so happy to share this space with you. So today I come to you on this Saturn day in the energy of a combined like Venus day, Saturn kind of like mindset right now still. As I just kind of like really attune with the energies as they really set in, I'm really like I'm seeing life through a whole other perspective. I'm seeing life so broadened to the horizons in which like the objections that occur that change and move the currencies of the tides of now. And I just wanted to share. So I had previously recorded a video that I may not even post now because I've kind of expanded since the thought of that, since the energy of that video. Even though it wasn't bad or anything like that, it was just a long video and deep explanation of some things. And it's just like, I just don't feel like going down all that, but instead I want to make it a little bit more short, focused, and straight to the point. And what it comes down to is I've just been really heavily in the energy of thinking about my north and my south node, which is Taurus, and my north node and south node, Scorpio. And then also thinking about my ascendant, my descendant, which would be obviously, if you know that I'm an Aquarius ascendant, Aquarius and then Leo. And it's like pretty much I am the ultimate like combination of all the fixed signs combined. So within that energy, it puts you in a whole other field, because even though your energy is set on these certain particular ways, yes, and they are bound to certain restrictions within those said like Saturnian ways, I guess we can say, because there's so many things like we consider ourselves moving forward at all times, right? But yet we limit ourselves to the views of the past structures that have worked only because they have worked. But what if they worked only because we were set to a past structure of belief? What if what really is meant to happen is we're supposed to expand from those horizons of belief and move into a new energy of field and understand that there are elements that can make us redefine ourselves, such as me having a grand cross and working with that energy. I feel that it's gotten me to this point to be able to even acknowledge this, to transmit this message, to be able to interpret it in some way, to be able to put it out into the ethereum of now as some type of foundation, of structure, of actualization of a thought conceptualized into a belief. And what it is when we have things like grand crosses, it teaches us the energy of all of the fixed signs. And from there, you expand out and you start looking at your other elements that you have in your chart. And it kind of shows you how your energies work with those elements, to where it makes you almost to where you are a free-flowing being. You are someone that's able to perceive life from all the different directions and all the different objectives and perspectives, so much to where there's no set bounds as to limitations as to what you are said to connect with, because you are a connected portal of source itself within yourself, because you've literally been connected to the restrictive patternings of the past previous. For instance, my having Saturn and Aquarius both in my 12th house where my stellium resides, and then having Neptune in my Aquarius, so that shows, okay, so Neptune's in there with not only Saturn, which is the planet known for like structure and governing and like foundations and set systems and things that are just like set in stone, and then I have Aquarius, like that Uranus energy, that's Neptunian even. So it's like out of this like realm, it kind of floats in and out. And now as we've moved into this Saturn and Aquarius energy, or Aquarius and Saturn energy now for the next 22 years, I believe it is, we're able to, well, I'm able to personally fill into that energy, but we all are to some aspect. And it's a new element, it's a new aspect, and it's something that I've always felt within myself, but I've never felt would fit into the world. But now it's almost as if the world has fit into my world to be able to conjunct with one another, to where now I am able to express myself in a manner and a form to which I may be understood. And that alone makes me the most happy person I could ever imagine being. Because just, and it's not about being or being understood because you want others to like just get you or whatever it is, or fit in, or society acceptance or anything like that. It's just being able to see broader, being able to see things that are beyond the horizon, beyond what the eye meets, feeling energy, knowing inside yourself, and just like never having that maybe, yeah, having the question of it, but always still coming back to maybe what isn't so common, or what isn't so typical, what isn't so normal in society, excuse me. But yeah, so that was something heavy on my mind that I just really wanted to share, because as this energy moves and it maneuvers, and especially with Mercury right now affected by Jupiter and Aquarius in conjunction, it's a very suiting, fitting spot for them to reside right now with the currencies of the energy. And also in pertaining to me and my aspects, that would be Aquarius, my first house, in conjunct with Mercury, which Mercury is actually a ruler of my fourth and my fifth house. And Taurus is my third house ruler, so it's affected as well because it is in that house. So it all just kind of conjuncts itself. And then also Venus is doing some things as well, which there's just so much. There's so much, guys. But yeah, so I just wanted to share that on a more calmer, just kind of like, this is my mode right now. Like I just feel at peace, so at peace right now. I just feel like something's been lifted off of me that has been waiting to be lifted for so long. And I feel that now, because we hit that energy, I believe it was like Thursday-ish, I feel like because of that now, we're able to all kind of have that piece of ourselves put in that maybe we felt that we were missing to some extent, of whatever it may be, however it's affecting us. But for me personally, I will say it's directly affecting a lot of my natal aspects, and also learning about being in my 12th house perfection year of perfection. That actually says a lot too, because I do have the stellium there, and it is an intercepted energy. So it's just kind of like I'm learning my Pisces. And by learning my Pisces, I'm learning my Aquarius, because I needed to have my Pisces activated in order to determine and decipher my Aquarius, because my Aquarius was in that like energy. So it was controlled by that field of energy, and not being able to fully grasp that makes it pretty kind of difficult to some extent. And then also having it kind of ultimately ruled by Saturn, having, you know, all that, like having Capricorn and Aquarius sharing the 12th house, and then having Saturn in my original house, like system, in the 10th house in its original rulership. So that gives it a lot of like energy to where it's like it's in control, like it runs its own house. So it's hard to really detour Saturn unless something major happens planetarily, which, interesting enough, something happened planetarily to where the planets moved, and it gave Saturn the perspective of Aquarius now. And it's like, okay, now look at this, now feel this, now see this. And then my Taurus being activated also is huge. It's just all huge. And then also with the Gemini energy, with Mars and Gemini now, that moves the action to house energy that I have two energy houses of, also affected by my third house which is where my Taurus is held as well. And then all of that also all conjuncts, or not conjuncts, but it all leads into other aspects, because like when it really boils down to it, a lot of things fall inside of that house, but in the energy of Scorpio, or in the energy of Mercury, but also in the energy of Scorpio, which is interesting, but it's all affected by Uranus. Everything in my chart is affected by Uranus. Like everything is affected by Uranus. And then also Sagittarius. It's like ultimately Uranus, Sagittarius, and Aquarius, or hold on, and oh my goodness, I just lost my train of thought. Yeah. And Mercury, I guess. Well, no. Okay, anyways, lost my train of thought, so it wasn't meant to be said. But yeah, so I just wanted to stop in with this little message and just kind of transmit this and let it be. So I love you all so much. If you enjoy my content, most definitely like, share, subscribe to my channel. There's a mixed bag of things here. I don't know if I'll ever fit into the YouTube algorithms, whether that be the case or not. I do feel that my mission will still be on point and on par, and take its course and its due diligence as it's intended to be, as it always has and has been, excuse me. So it'll be. But yeah, so thank you for being here. Also, I guess I could like maybe share some kind of natal graphics or something. I don't know. We'll see what I choose for the imagery, because I'm not doing this on a screen recording myself, because I'm not in that vibe. But yeah, I love you all so much. Thank you again for being here. I thank you, and I love you. And your support, your appreciation, your consideration, it really does matter to me, and it's valued. And I want you to always know that and feel that so deeply. And just know that there are ways that we can see outside of the box, because there is no box. And by setting ourselves in these bounds, that something has to be set into a certain circumstance of understanding or being, is to be so limited, and is to be so biased based on a past structure that is now transforming into a whole new functioning thing. What was once is no more. We are transcending the energy into a new field now. And the more that we transcend, the more energy we'll feel and will filled out as we expand ourselves and learn what this true existence of life is really about. It's not about the limited Saturn that we've been in. It's not about that. It's about the expansion of Jupiter. And it's about the mind of Aquarius. And it's about the love of the Taurus. And it's about the communication of the Gemini. And whenever we put these elements together, we start finding the keys to our codes. Okay, I love you. That's the message. I'll talk to you soon. Have a beautiful momentum of now.